What's up, YouTube? So, Lipstick and Lizards here. Saturday has come. We went to the reptile show. Me and my best friend. Actually, a lot of people I knew were there. Like, my coworkers went up. Anyways, but me and my girlfriend went up. And, so we were not super impressed. The Hamburg Reptile Show, which is in Pennsylvania, is usually, like, one of the big shows. Yeah, hold on, because, you know, we're filming around the birds again, so we're going to have to tolerate that. The only reason I'm filming in here is because this is where all the supplies are that I needed to film this video. And because it's really the only place that, in this house right now, that is kind of, like, semi-private and good lighting. But anyways, so I didn't go crazy. I was actually able to save way more money than I was expecting. Like I said, I just really didn't see anything that made me thrilled. One thing that did happen, which is a really good thing to share with anybody who is just getting into going to reptile shows. We were looking at an emerald tree boa. She was very large, a very large female. The first guy we talked to said, she's aggressive, we can't handle her. Second guy that we talked to pulled her out, let us handle her. She did really check out my friend's hand and open her mouth like this. So my friend was holding her, and she put her mouth on her, she was sniffing her like this. She opened her mouth really wide and touched her with her teeth, and then took her teeth off and closed her mouth and then went away. So I think if we would have provoked her, or if she would have had any reason at all to smell like mice or anything, I think she definitely would have bit her. But she didn't. My friend is super used to snakes, so stayed really calm, and we had no issues. Anyways, second question, since this is an animal that's well over $200. Second question being, is this animal feeding? And was it an import? The first guy that we spoke to said, oh yeah, 3 weeks ago, it ate a rat. And we've had it a couple months. No big deal. That's what he was talking to my friend. My friend was the one looking at the snake. I go wandering down, right? And another guy goes, hey man, is that emerald an import? And the other guy is like, yeah man, we just got it 3 weeks ago. It's an import. Has it fed yet? He shook his head and said, no, I don't think we've even tried. So, that means we've got worker over here telling this man something completely different than worker over here that's trying to sell the snake to my girlfriend. This guy says, no, it doesn't eat, hasn't eaten, it's an import. This guy says, it does eat, we just fed it a small rat, whatever, no problem, no big deal. Like, making it seem like it's no big deal. So we've got two contradicting people here. Now, a little bit of backstory. This same person who, I don't know why, I mean, I do know why. My girlfriend goes back to the same place because they carry a better selection and variety of animals. She tends to go for really cool-looking animals and just shit you don't see. It doesn't need to be expensive. It doesn't need to be unique. It's just, or anything crazy or trendy. It's just something that she sees in snakes and she really finds appealing. But anyways, so she had bought a python, a scrub python from these guys, like a couple, months ago, and the snake ended up dying, like rather quickly actually. So we know that it had nothing to do with her care of the snake. It died because of something else going on, because it was probably an import, maybe, whatever the circumstances, it died. She went back to these people again asking, about this emerald, and I had a bad feeling about it since they were already lying about it on the jump, and the animal went from being $400 to like $250 or something like that, I don't remember. So there's a huge price cut, and it was all really weird. So long story short, we walk away because I'm trying to tell my friend, hey, this guy down here said something completely different than the guy up there, so I don't know what's going on with this snake, since your scrubby died and everything, I really, don't know if we should get this from this guy. Within like 30 seconds, no joke, they sold to the guy who the first guy told the truth to. So that was really, interesting and kind of crazy. The reason I'm saying it, though, isn't even because we were upset about it. It was a good thing that the snake went to the other guy because, like I said, it was pretty aggressive, and I don't foresee it being really a good animal for her to be working around because of how big it was already. If it would have been a baby, I feel like it could have been worked with, and it could have made, become a pet that she could have worked with. Emerald tree boas, by no means, are an animal that you want to handle. But I say this. There's no reason that you can't have an aggressive snake that you really enjoy watching and looking at and being able to handle it properly. You just got to know what you're doing and understand that animal, isn't tolerant to be touched, and you just got to work around it with hooks and stuff. But anyways, that doesn't even have anything to do with this video, other than the fact that I just wanted to say, be careful. Vendors lie, breeders lie, people lie. Not everybody, but a lot of them do. So be very leery when you're shopping, and just, go talk to some more people. Walk away, come back. If the animal gets sold, it's probably not meant to be. I'm a true believer about that if it's not meant to be yours, you're not going to have it. If it's meant to be yours, it should be no problem at all. You shouldn't have to fight for it and whatever. Anyways, I'm filming. What I did pick up is 2 snakes, which are for me, and 1 lizard, which was not for me. I will be rehoming that animal next Friday, but you'll see it anyways. I got a black African house snake, which clearly, since I just said it's an African house snake, it's from Africa. It's probably imported. It's probably wild caught. I'm just going to assume all these things. So I am not going to be handling these animals right at this second because I don't want to touch them and then be touching the other animals. It's just not a good idea. This animal is from Africa. The next animal is from Australia. I clearly do not want to be touching them one after another after just purchasing them from a show and not knowing what they could be carrying. Anyways, black African house snake. These guys can be quite nippy, so I do not recommend them for beginners if, you may be intimidated about getting bit. So that's about what it looks like. I will show you more later. I'm just briefly showing you guys what I got first. So that's what he looks like, or she. I have no idea. I didn't ask, and I didn't really care. I was buying this animal as a pet. Reason I bought this little guy or girl is because with snakes, they get really big, and they need really, really big enclosures. And quite honestly, I don't have, well, I do have the room that I could do it. I don't want to, though. I don't want to have all these giant cages for large snakes. The same reason why I don't have a lot of giant lizards, like monitors, and tegus and stuff. I don't want to have that kind of space being used up. The tortoises are nice because they can just roam free. The iguana, my rescue, he wasn't planned, but, it is what it is. I have him now. But no, I don't go out of my way to have animals that are going to get, ridiculously big that are going to be either a problem or a hassle for me to house. So, these little black African house snakes can be compared to a children's python, if anybody's familiar with those. They don't get very large at all. Like I said, they can be a little nippy, but, nothing crazy. Their bite doesn't hurt at all. Like I said, not necessarily for beginners, but maybe intermediate level, somebody who just wants kind of something cute that's not going to get too big, but it's going to be out and about. It's not just going to hide all the time. Anyways, that's what that is. The next one is a spotted python. If anybody wants to know the Latin or whatever the proper name for these guys, I can let you know. Just let me know in the comments. This is a spotted python. These little guys are native to Australia. These are really common for beginners over there, from what I read at least. A lot of people say they have really even temperaments, are nice to be handled, not real nippy, don't get big. That's exactly why I purchased both of these snakes. I have an Amazon tree boa, which doesn't get that big, it just gets long and thin. And then I have these two. I used to have a hognose, but I recently rehomed it with a really, really good friend of mine. So these two snakes and that Amazon tree boa are the only snakes I own right now in my collection. Not to say that that won't change, but that's what it is currently. And the third animal that I purchased today is a Savannah monitor. A little baby Savannah monitor. Like I said, this animal is not for me. I have nothing against them. I actually, when I got him, I wasn't sure yet if the people were really 100% going to take him. And I started to get really attached to him, like on the car ride home and stuff, just like holding him and looking at him. But they are going to get him. I'm assuming at least they texted me and told me that they'll be picking him up probably next Friday. So he probably will be leaving, but, oh gosh, I mean, these guys are really, really cute when they're little, so it's really easy for me to get, like, attached to them. That's what he looks like. Look at his little button there. He's so freaking cute. He's really tiny, okay? So when I first got home, I kind of left the new little arrivals. I set them near a warm lamp so that they would stay warm, but it wasn't like too overbearingly hot on them. And I didn't have his knot like super tight. I just figured, oh, he's just been laying in there. He won't try and go anywhere. And I come back in the room like, oh, my light's gonna fall. Hang on. My dog knocked my light over. Hang on. So I come back in my room and I look at the bag, and the bag is clearly empty and like has been moved. So I'm like, fuck, this little lizard is definitely now loose in my room, and he's so freaking tiny, okay? So I really had no clue where he was. So I started freaking out, and I'm looking everywhere, like everywhere around where he was, and I'm not seeing him anywhere. So I just kind of thought maybe he went to one of the lights. So I started looking under all the lights. I'm filming, shut up, please. I'm going to show you guys where I found him. So I start going around to like all the lights and stuff that he could have, oh my god, I can't find a good spot. So that where like he could have possibly ran. And lo and behold, the little shit went over to my sulcata tortoise's light and was laying like right underneath with him. Yeah, look. So you see how that's set up over there? That's my sulcata and his light is up there. Yeah. So that's where he freaking was. He was laying on his like heat mat or whatever, and when I ran up to try and get him, he charged me with his mouth open, like gonna bite me. So I had to get a fish net, because my fish tanks are in here, and I had to like net him with the net. So that's another thing I wanted to mention. When you go to reptile shows, especially like today was pretty rainy, so it was really cool outside. So the animals aren't going to be near as active because they're cooled. So when you're holding animals and checking them out, like for their temperaments and stuff, you really have to remember that that's probably not going to be what their temperament's like once you get them home and once you get them warmed up. So just keep that in mind. Like, it's happened time and time again with people that say, oh, well, I held the animal when I was there, and it wasn't any problem at all, but as soon as I got home, it got really spunky and bit me or got aggressive. Well, it's because once they get warmed up, then their energy, they are, like, ready to roll once they get a little heat on them. So that's exactly what happened with him. He got warmed up from the light and then wiggled his little knot loose and took off. But all is well. He is caught and captured and will be getting put into a little temporary enclosure. So I'm going to film that segment separate, and I'm going to show you guys how I set up their little enclosures. So if you guys want to see me do that, feel free to watch the following video that I'm going to put up like as a part 2 or whatever. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this and enjoyed my new little critters. And if you all want to see me put them in their new enclosures and decorate and all that good stuff, feel free to follow up with the next one, and I'll see you guys in a couple minutes. So have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Please tell me I'm doing a good job. And I'll see you guys later.